It's a Monday morning at 8 a.m. and you're eating your breakfast, sitting in front of your crusty TV in the living room watching Naruto while your parents are yelling at you to get ready for school. But you don't listen, and instead you watch as Naruto is about to finish off Sasuke in the incredible climax, and then you wake up and realize it was all a dream, and now the Shounen series that you enjoyed so much had become something more like this. Shounen has always been a genre that's been enjoyed by plenty of people who read manga and watch anime because of the fights, the characters. They were just very enjoyable to read or watch, no matter what the storyline was like, no matter what the characters were like. There was something about the shonen genre that was just intriguing and compelling. Not to mention, they're relatively family friendly, so you're more than likely to watch it when you're a kid, which adds that nostalgic touch to it, because I'm sure you know, nostalgia plays a huge role in what kind of series you like. But as people's taste for the shonen genre changed, so did the actual genre itself. Shonen went from being a genre where it was more targeted towards youth and younger boys, specifically where the protagonist had their dream and had their goal, and where the story would teach you different lessons like to never give up and to become a better version of yourself and to chase your dreams. It taught you to save the world if evil ever came and gave you hope that maybe, just maybe, one day you could ride on that Charizard or shoot fire out of your hands. But now shonen has become a lot more like its antithesis, seinen. Now, despite the fact that it's targeted towards more of a youth or younger boy audience, it doesn't really seem that way, because if you compare it to seinen series, it's very similar. Let's take a look at the topic of today's video, which is going to be Chainsaw Man in the shonen genre, and compare it to a seinen series like One Punch Man. How does this work? How does One Punch Man target more of a seinen audience, where something like Chainsaw Man, which has things like this in it, targets more of a shonen and younger boy genre? The whole idea of these two genres has been completely mixed up. Shonen manga these days contains much darker storytelling, themes, characters. When Chainsaw Man Part 1 first dropped, we all know it blew up like a wildfire, and despite the fact that it had a lot of similarities with other shonen, being its power system with the whole devil thing, it still caught the attention of many readers, and that's the main reason why Chainsaw Man has now become one of the most popular manga series ever. The weird way that Fujimoto had shaped this story and the weird way he displayed the characters were not only compelling because they were different, but they were so weird that they just got you intrigued into the story and interested to see what was really going to happen in this bizarre world with these bizarre powers. Denji's weird teenage nature probably resonated with a lot of the readers because, again, it's targeted towards a shonen genre, and unlike a lot of the other shonen characters who are like, I'm gonna be Hokage, I'm gonna save this person, I'm gonna become Pirate King and all that, instead it's more so with Denji, a much weirder yet much more realistic goal that Denji has. Because let's be honest, no 14-year-old is going to try and save the world from an evil attack. No 14-year-old is built like this. Denji's character resonates a lot with the younger audience reading this series, despite the fact that he's extremely annoying early on. Chainsaw Man's weird and unorthodox style of artwork and the way they portray their characters, and even a lot of the events in the story itself, already had changed what we previously defined as shonen. Yes, there were already plenty of dark shonen like AOT, Death Note, The Gray Man, Hunter x Hunter, but not only was Chainsaw Man dark, it was just straight up weird and completely out of pocket. Some of the moments in Chainsaw Man were things you would never expect to see in manga, let alone in a shonen series. Think about the ending of Chainsaw Man. Who ever saw something that weird and that creepy and that disgusting ever coming? That just goes to show what Fujimoto had planned to do with his story so that it would grasp more people's attention. Because in order to grasp people's attention, you gotta be literally different from everyone else out there, and Chainsaw Man did just that, which leads to its incredible appeal in this medium. Now, of course, I'm not saying Chainsaw Man's story is perfect, because there were a lot of flaws, especially with, I would say, the first 70 or so chapters. A lot of it was pretty boring. It was mostly just Denji trying to get laid and a lot of other characters trying to do their own thing. But once certain events happened, the story did pick up, and towards the end of the first part, it was quite the enjoyable story. There are still, though, in my opinion, plenty of shonen series that top Chainsaw Man. I'm just saying, for the way Chainsaw Man does what it does, it will change the shonen genre forever, and already has. This second part is about to make Chainsaw Man not only one of the most memorable shonen series ever, but one of the most enjoyed, and is going to change how we perceive shonen as a genre itself. Before, it was more so the Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece type stories, but now there may not even be a shonen seinen genre type thing. They might be combined into becoming one kind of genre, because at this point, we're not getting very many shonen shonen series, if you know what I mean. Demon Slayer is a good example of a recent one that has come out, but a lot of the newer shonen series appeal more to the younger audience despite being more like a seinen series. And because this part 2 has recently come out, this story is going to go on trending a number of times. You already know it's going to happen. It's already happened a few times. It's just absolutely gonna blow up, and a lot of people are going to enjoy it because it gives us a fresh taste of what this genre really has to offer. Now that the protagonists in the storyline have been set up from the first part, Chainsaw Man can go ahead and just casually invents new levels of peak fiction, those of which that we have rarely seen in a shonen story, and that is again why it's going to recreate how we perceive manga in this genre. The first 2 chapters introduce a new protagonist, if you really want to call her the new protagonist, Eiza Mitaka, and having what seems to be like 2 protagonists is something you don't really see in shonen. Okay, yes, you do see characters like Naruto and Sasuke kind of like 2 protagonists, but what I mean by 2 protagonists is like the story is shown from 2 different perspectives of 2 different characters. Mitaka and Denji are both seemingly like the protagonists of their own part. Denji may even be the true antagonist of the story, and Mitaka may have been the protagonist the whole time with the way she's been introduced. That's another one of the reasons why Chainsaw Man is so intriguing right now, because it does very unorthodox things that a lot of shonen have not dared to do because it would mess up the boundaries that have been set up by previous series in the past, like Dragon Ball, Naruto, and I've named a few already. I'm not going to name any more. The vast amount of possibilities that are presented in Chainsaw Man make the anticipation of what this story really holds even greater. It's going to make us sit at the edge of our seats to witness what is Fujimoto going to draw today. What kind of weird ass, intestine, gory, graphic, and grotesque things is Fujimoto gonna draw up in this seemingly boy story? Shonen literally translates to boy. I don't know about you, but if I was a boy reading this manga, I'd turn into a man pretty quick. If there was any manga right now that could change shonen forever, it would definitely be Chainsaw Man, and that is the reason why I'm so excited to witness what this story will have to offer with its second part. The first 2 chapters were fire. The next however many chapters, I'm expecting a lot from Chainsaw Man, and I'm expecting to see some things I've never seen before.